Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with another fantastic video for you guys. Remember, I am not an immigration attorney. I do not work for USCIS, and I do not give you any legal advice. And people are asking me, what is the data? What's the status? What's the percentages for approvals, for K-1 visas, for lifting conditions, for 2-year green cards, etc.? Well, at the end of this video, I will give you a posting of those three percentages. Now, the K-1 visa approval status and the process is moving along smoothly. K-1 visas are still being approved, but processing times are sometimes long depending on the country that you are living in. The average in 2026 was between 8 to 12 months from filing to the USCIS approval of Form I-129F. Okay, current approval rates are good. Current approval rates, recent data, I went over the data, it shows that K-1 visa approvals are at a 10-year high, okay, indicating that the program is still active and functioning. So immigration are approving K-1 visas as long as you are qualifying for the benefit and submitting excellent evidence of your relationship. But remember this, approval rates are going to vary by some country of origin. With some nations, for example, the Philippines and the United Kingdom, those two countries, they are having higher approval percentages than other countries for some reason. Okay, now this means that while the approvals are still happening, the likelihood of an approval depends sometimes on your fiance's nationality, and of course the completeness and the accuracy and of your application. Okay, so how does all this process work, this K-1 visa process? Here's a basic rundown. Okay, USCIS petition form I-129F is about 13 pages long. The US citizen, you got to be a citizen to qualify, files this with USCIS with the evidence showing that they are free and able to marry, and they intend to marry this person within 90 days of his or her entry into the United States, and that they have met in person. You got to know each other. You got to be in a strong relationship. Now, background checks. USCIS conducts criminal, national security, and other background checks on both parties. Okay, USCIS is going to check you out, the American citizen and the beneficiary. The National Visa Center. Now, if the Service Center approves, the National Visa Center will then assign a case number and will send the petition to the U.S. Embassy or consulate overseas. So you got to get a case number from the National Visa Center. Now, consular interviews and medical exams. The fiancé in the foreign country will complete Form DS-160, or the American citizen sponsor can help him or her with it if she cannot speak English. And then he or she attends a visa interview and undergoes a medical exam. Got to have a medical exam. I recommend it about 2 weeks before your scary K-1 visa interview. If you get approved at the consular interview, the visa is going to be issued, and it is valid for 6 months. And it gives you one entry into the United States. Remember, though, the countdown clock starts on the day of your medical exam for the 6 months. You cannot enter the United States on an expired medical exam. Once you've been admitted to the United States, okay, the K-1 visa holder must marry the American citizen sponsor within 90 days of his or her entry. After marriage, they can then apply for a 2-year green card via the adjustment of status. And I'm going to give you some data on that at the end of this video. Processing times, averaging 2026 processing times from filing to USCIS approval to getting the K-1 visa put into the passport is about 11 to 12 months. Now remember, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there is no premium processing available for K-1 petitions. So you cannot speed up the process by premium processing. The processing time, like I said, is going to vary by service center. Usually it's California for K-1s. And how complex is your case? How difficult is it for immigration to untangle what you have submitted to them for review? K-1 visas are still being approved and are at record highs. as in approvals. There's no problems as long as you qualify. The approval likelihood, okay, is going to depend on your beneficiary's nationality and the completeness of your application. How much evidence have you sent to USCIS? Okay, overwhelm immigration with your relationship evidence. So you want to plan for at least a 1 year wait from petition filing to the visa getting issued into his or her foreign passport. Make sure all your documents are complete to avoid any delays. Okay, common sense stuff, right, ladies and gentlemen? Common sense. If you want the most current processing times, check the USCIS's monthly updates for Form I-129F under the K1, K2 heading. But I'll give you some data at the end of this video, if you decide to watch the rest of this video, that is. Thanks for watching the video, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Don't forget I do a live stream on Saturdays and Wednesday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time. If you choose to hang out with Karina and I, though sometimes Karina is so busy, she doesn't have time to hang out on a live stream. But she is pulling you over the finish line, as am I. We want to see you get reunited with your families. If you want to join as a member down here somewhere, you can join as a member, and then you go to the members only videos and you'll get my phone number and email address. Then you can give me a call, you can give me a text message, you can ask me your questions. If you have an emergency with immigration questions, you can call me 7 days a week. Thanks for watching. See you at the next live stream.
Okay, I'll talk to you later. See you later. Bye.